I went through my boyfriend's messages, and I wish I never did. My husband has said, in the context of just letting life be instead of getting to the bottom of everything, that a person should be careful of how deeply they seek for answers because they might find a whole lot more than they bargained for. In my case, he was right. 4 years into our dating relationship, he began acting secretive. He made sure to log out of his email while looking over his shoulder just to make sure I wasn't in the room. He excused himself for odd reasons during the day and night, and it seemed disingenuous the way he fidgeted when I asked where he was going. He made lame excuses like, "Oh, it's my mom," or "Oh, it's my sister." He took a few phone calls away from our shared spaces. It was very strange. Sudden behavior over the course of a few weeks or so. It hurt me so much. I thought for sure he was having an affair because he seemed so much more giddy than normal. I was heartbroken. I cried a lot, seething, ruminating, lamenting grief of loss in this cruel world. Journal pages filled. How could this have happened? What did I do to deserve this treatment? Why isn't he man enough to tell me himself? My insecurities and hurt feelings got the best of me, and I did the unthinkable. I went through his email to confirm my suspicions when I got the chance. He had left a window open on his computer before he went out to the store for a few minutes. I still remember what he said that day: "Bye, I love you. I'll be back." And oh man, I felt so guilty doing it, but I had worked myself up to soap opera level proportions of madness that I had to see the betrayal with my own eyes. And what I found broke my heart in another way. I blew the best upcoming surprise of my life. All of his secrecy and giddiness was a means to planning his version of the perfect night to propose marriage to me. Everything made sense. He hid his emails from me because there were purchase orders for rings and inquiries into different venue options. There were excursions during the day to shop for a custom ring. He quickly left the room when phone calls rang in my presence because he was talking to vendors and didn't want to spoil the surprise. There was an excursion at night for a couple of hours from which he returned happy and almost nervous because he had gone in person to the dinner hours only restaurant to reserve the right table in advance and make sure the entire place would be asked to direct their attention to our table while he popped the big question. The house piano player was then to break from the old standards to play a tongue-in-cheek rendition of Here Comes the Bride after I said yes. When he came back from the store that day, I peeped into his email. I looked into his big blue eyes and realized I was the biggest loser forever thinking he could cheat. I was an even bigger loser for going through his email. But the biggest loss to me was that I ruined the biggest surprise for myself that happens once in a lifetime if a person is lucky. I completely ruined it for myself, and I almost wish that he would have just been cheating on me the whole time. When the big moment arrived that night at my favorite restaurant, I acted as if I were surprised. What else was I supposed to do? The sudden piano player announcement and song, the bête-née proposal, the whole place clapping when I said yes. I had to suck it up and pretend. It was disappointing and I had done it entirely to myself. The only thing left to do was not ruin it for him. But it was completely ruined for me. He was the only one happy at that moment. There was a silver lining to the cloud I created. However, I had not seen the engagement ring, and when I did, it melted my heart. He designed it himself and hired a local jeweler to make it, a modest, high-quality diamond surrounded by each of our birthstones supporting it, symbolic of our union together. I do not deserve him.